This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. I know why you're here. We're going to get to the statement. But before I do, yesterday I was a guest on a young journalist's YouTube channel. His name is Wyatt Sharp, and not to make an ultimate dad joke here, but he is a sharp kid, 14 or 15 years old, and is doing very professional journalism. And I appeared to talk about the Republican debate. Up to now, his top performing video is an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy. I think we can do a little better than that. So I'm going to put a link in the description. Hopefully, if I remember, I will pin a comment to the top of this video. Go watch this video and support this young, intrepid journalist. I would appreciate it. Now, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Donald Trump surrendered to the Fulton County authorities for his arrest, for his booking, for his fingerprinting, and for his mugshot. And while I am carrying with me a celebratory tone because of consequence that we're finally getting to see, where Donald Trump, this isn't some two-tiered justice system. Donald Trump is being treated like any other perp in the system. That's a good thing. We can have a separate conversation, certainly, about how we treat defendants in criminal cases. Absolutely. But with the system we have, Donald Trump should be treated just like everybody else. He shouldn't have the opportunity to not have a mugshot that carries with it social stigma just because he's the ex-president of the United States of America. There's not really a reading of the statement. I'm going to do the reading of the statement that I do. But he actually gave a statement before the cameras that I'm going to play, and we'll talk about that. And there's also some goofy chicanery on the part of activists who are filing arrests for Fani Willis. It's all a bunch of nonsense. But since we all know why we are here, here we go. I'm going to juice this one up a little bit.
Statement from inmate P01135809809, aka Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States of America.
Whew. That was all in one breath. That was a lot. Yeah, he is actually inmate P011358009. That is his number. He's not just the ex-president now. But like I said, there is no written campaign statement that I'm going to read or from Truth Social. He did some things on those social media platforms that I'm going to talk about in a subsequent video. But what I want to do is play for you him stepping to the plane just before leaving Fulton County at the airport and listen to the nonsense, but also he's beginning to tweak his language relative to what took place in the lead up to him leaving office and his attempts to interfere with, to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Watch this.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support, and that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning, and this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all, and we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think is very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
After elected, did you pardon yourself? President Trump,
President.
are you ready to go to trial?
How is this different from the previous investigation, sir?
So where he's softening his language, and it started a few weeks ago once he started in earnest thinking about his actual criminal defense here, is he's using language not that the election was stolen, it was rigged, but I thought it was rigged. I believed it was rigged. And there is a lot of substance in that slight wiggle room. There's a lot. It's an ocean of difference between it was stolen and I thought it was stolen. And we're going to see that play out over the course of the next few months. It absolutely was a shit show on the ground. There's this Brad Barnes character who apparently is an activist in Georgia. He's a failed political candidate who just got worked in an election. And he has now taken it upon himself as a sovereign citizen, or I don't know what his theory is, that he has filed for the arrest of. Like he's issuing an arrest warrant himself for Fani Willis. And he was interviewed by another traitor to both her situation politically and socially and culturally. She's a trans woman named Sarah Higdon, who is working for the monsters who want her eradicated. It's gross. Watch this goof talk about the arrest that he's filing for Fani Willis.
Okay, so I'm here with Brad Barnes, who just filed an arrest for the Fulton County DA. Now, what are you alleging charges on her for?
So there are 4 charges, 2 under the U.S. Code, 2 under the Georgia Code. So the 2 under the Georgia Code are violation of oath by a public officer, which is 1610-1, and unprofessional conduct by public officers and employees, which is 4511-4. And then the 2 under the U.S. Code are under 18 U.S.C. 241 and 242, and those are conspiracy against rights and deprivation of rights under color of law.
Okay, so what exactly are you saying that she did?
So it's very clear that she is using her public office to prosecute a political grudge, and actions such as charging lawyers for filing legal paperwork and representation of their clients for example, is a clear violation of the defendants, like Mr. Trump's right to a redress of grievances under the First Amendment.
Okay. I think that's it. Do you have anything else on this? Why'd you come down here to the jail today?
Well, I think it's important that we get this information out there. And, I wanted to be with my fellow Republicans and fellow Trump supporters. It's always a good time. Everyone's always very positive to these sorts of things.
You catch the 2 judges. He's doing the Trump mannerisms. This is low information rubery at its finest. This character thinks he's a judge or some kind of authority relative to filing charges. You don't just get to file arrest warrants and charges against people. There is a process under which all of this happens. You need indictments. You need actual charges to be filed. You need police reports. You don't just get to go in and file an arrest warrant. Less importantly, look, Brad, if you're going, just be bald, brother. What is with the insecurity, rampant insecurity of needing to cover up what you got going on? I mean, if you're going to comb anything over, comb those earlobes over. Comb those over your head to try to cover up what's going on top of the dome, brother. This is classic MAGA world nonsense. They feel like they're doing something. They feel like they're accomplishing something relative to the process, but all they're doing is making idiots of themselves. I mean, some might say that about me. They might be right. But come on. just some private citizen ding-dong quoting U.S. code and Georgia regulations, and he's going to have Fani Willis, the DA, the district attorney, the prosecutor in this massive county, arrested for dereliction of duty and while ignoring all of those things that he's charging against Fani Willis that Donald Trump has done. It's all too much. Anyway, did you watch all this? Have you seen the mugshot? I'm going to talk about it in a subsequent video, but the strategy that must have gone behind this particular look that he gave. I talked about it yesterday, but again, nonsense. I'd love to know what you think. You can share your opinion with me. Call 714-576-4054. Leave me a brief voicemail there. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'm everywhere at Dollemore. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. And if you appreciate the red-faced demon voice statements, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below. Become a channel member for $1.99 a month, or hit the super thanks button, or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. We do have merch. I'm waiting for somebody to finish the files and the images. We got pretty funny with the mugshot. I hope you will check that out when it comes. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.